Let's just call it what it is. Mid-August 2026 was the absolute end of the single AI chatbot. Welcome to this Trend Guards Explainer. Today, we're delivering an authoritative, fully sourced teardown of this massive transition from single chatbots to multi-agent architectures. We're going to rely strictly on official documentation, GitHub releases, and confirmed technical specs to cut through the noise, figure out exactly what happened, and more importantly, why it actually matters for your day-to-day workflow.
So here are the verified facts. In August 2026, Nous Research dropped Hermes Bot mode. And right around the same time, SpaceXAI launched Grok Bot. These two massive product drops effectively killed the single-threaded chatbot era. We are officially moving away from that old model of just dumping huge, unstructured prompts into one lonely chat window, and we're moving toward organized, multi-agent swarms. To really grasp the gravity of these releases, you have to understand what's actually driving this evolution. We call it the agentic shift. This is the transition from relying on one single, completely overloaded AI model to orchestrating multiple specialized, isolated AI agents that actually talk to each other and divide up the labor. Think about it. You wouldn't hire one human to be your entire company's researcher, coder, and reviewer all at the same time, right? The industry finally realized that forcing a single AI model to do all that just leads to severe context degradation. Specialization requires isolation. So the next big leap wasn't just building a smarter standalone model, it was natural language orchestration.
On August 17, 2026, Nous Research pushed an update to Hermes Desktop that essentially transforms your local machine into a multi-agent operating system. If you read their official docs, Hermes Bot Mode replaces standard linear sessions with what they call a persistent named roster. You now have totally distinct bots, and each one gets its own isolated memory and a dedicated chat thread. But here's what's really fascinating: the heterogeneous model routing. Because this all runs locally, you can actually pin your researcher bot to a massive 70 billion parameter llama model on your GPU, while simultaneously routing your coder bot out to a lightning-fast API for the complex logic stuff. And thanks to their verified local teammate protocol, these bots can seamlessly message each other and hand off tasks. Now, this total isolation allows for something Nous Research calls the Hermes Learning Loop. This was completely verified in their GitHub release, and it integrates right into the Hermes CLI. When one of your bots successfully finishes a really complex multi-step task, like formatting a bunch of data and pushing it to a repo, it doesn't just forget how to do it. It autonomously saves that exact experience as a skill. So the next time you ask for that same task, the bot totally bypasses the slow, basic reasoning phase and just directly executes that saved skill routine. Literally, it gets faster, cheaper, and way more accurate over time. So, what if you just don't want to deal with managing local hardware at all? Well, SpaceXAI launched Grok Bot, taking a totally opposite architectural path. The official XAI release notes describe this new system as giving you persistent cloud teammates. When you subscribe to their higher tier plans, your account actually gets provisioned a dedicated virtual machine running somewhere in the cloud. And rather than just crunching text via local APIs, these agents get a completely different toolset. Because they live on a dedicated cloud computer, they can work 24/7. But here is the major factual differentiator. Grok Bot navigates user interfaces using a virtual mouse. It actually looks at screen pixels, extracts the spatial coordinates, and physically clicks around a browser. I mean, it's kind of ironic, isn't it? We spent billions building hyper-advanced AI just to have it use a virtual mouse exactly like a human office worker. But hey, it works. If a human can click it, Grok Bot can click it, continuously, whether your personal laptop is open or closed. That 24/7 cloud convenience? Yeah, it comes with a massive catch. It's a highly documented architectural trade-off that enterprise CTOs really need to pay attention to. Buried right there in Grok's own official documentation is a critical security warning. All bots on an account share one cloud computer. That means they share your browser sessions, your cookies, your logins, the whole shebang. The docs explicitly warn users absolutely not to treat separate bots as a security boundary. In the cybersecurity world, sharing state like that is a massive, massive risk. To put it simply, there is zero air gap between your bots. If you've got a generic sales bot out there scraping emails and a finance bot logged into your highly sensitive corporate banking dashboard, they exist in the exact same security context. So if that sales bot hallucinates, or worse, encounters a malicious prompt out on the web, it has the exact same OS-level access to that open banking tab. You literally have to treat the entire cloud computer as one single, highly privileged user. Now that we've mapped out the architectures and the documented risks, let's put them head-to-head across three verified vectors. First up, tool access.
Grok definitely wins on pure breadth, because that pixel-level virtual mouse lets it use clunky legacy apps that don't even have APIs. Hermes, on the other hand, relies on rigid but extremely reliable APIs, the CLI, and the Model Context Protocol. Next, models. Hermes gives you full heterogeneous control. You pick the exact right model for the exact job. Grok largely locks you into the XAI and Cursor ecosystem. And finally, security. Hermes gives you 100% isolated local directories. Grok requires sharing credentials inside a shared cloud VM.
Let's ground all this technical analysis in reality. Let's say you want to build a swarm to scrape competitor pricing and publish a daily report. With the Hermes local architecture, you'd spin up 3 distinct bots. First, a scraper bot that just runs a local Python script to grab the data. It then hands that off to an analyst bot, which you've pinned to a massive reasoning model to crunch the numbers. Finally, a publisher bot uses the Model Context Protocol to seamlessly connect to your WordPress API. The end result? Your execution costs are tiny, and you have complete data privacy because your data literally never leaves your machine unless you explicitly tell it to. Now, if you did that exact same task in Grok, you'd likely use a 2-bot setup. Your researcher bot uses its virtual mouse to open Chrome, click around to take screenshots of the competitor sites, and drops them into a shared desktop folder. Then, your writer bot opens that shared folder, reads the pictures in the screenshots, and manually types the report into WordPress. The huge benefit here? It requires absolutely zero code to set up. But because it relies on processing thousands of video frames and pixels, you are going to eat some pretty high token costs. Zooming out for a second, both of these systems signal a massive macroeconomic shift. The verified capabilities we're seeing in Hermes and Grok definitively threaten legacy SaaS middleware, companies like Zapier or Make. Think about it. If an AI can naturally just move data from your email to your CRM using a virtual mouse or a local Python script, your need for those expensive, complex webhook subscriptions just evaporates. We're seeing a rapid industry shift toward automation via natural language orchestration, and that is giving rise to a totally new job title, agent managers. Professionals whose whole job is defining roles, workflows, and memory boundaries for these digital workforces. So, the confirmed facts show us that the agentic shift isn't just some theoretical white paper anymore. The transition from isolated, single-thread chatbots to specialized, multi-agent digital workforces is definitively underway right now. We are evolving from an internet where humans read screens to an internet where agents click screens and execute local routines for us. Thanks for joining us for this TrendGuards Explainer. We're going to keep verifying the facts and reporting from the frontier of tech. But as you start designing your own enterprise automation strategy, you've got to weigh the evidence for yourself. Are you going to prioritize the verifiable, isolated security of local orchestration with Hermes, or do your workflows absolutely demand the zero-code, 24/7 convenience of Grok's cloud teammates, even with those shared state security warnings? It's your call. See you next time.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.